Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you just don't understand what she truly wants? Like there's this invisible barrier between you and the love life you desire? What if I told you that there are hidden weaknesses, unspoken truths about women that, once you understand, could change everything? This isn't about manipulation. It's about wisdom, specifically the kind that Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoics, lived by. Today we'll explore 10 hidden female weaknesses through the lens of Stoic philosophy, insights that will help you navigate relationships with strength, calm, and deep understanding. But before we begin, if you find value in Stoic wisdom and self-improvement, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these 10 insights might just transform your love life. 1. Women crave emotional strength, but they test it constantly. Have you ever been in a relationship where everything seemed perfect at first? But then, out of nowhere, she started acting distant? Maybe she picked small fights, questioned your actions, or even tested your patience with things that seemed unnecessary. You start wondering, why is she doing this? Doesn't she love me? If this sounds familiar, let me tell you something that most men never realize. Women crave emotional strength, but they will test it constantly. This isn't because they enjoy playing games or because they want to see you suffer. It's because deep down they need to know that the man they're with is solid, unshakable, and strong enough to handle life's challenges. Think about it. If a woman can easily throw you off balance with a simple comment, how will you handle real problems in life? A story that might sound familiar. Imagine this: you've been dating someone for a few months. Everything feels perfect. She laughs at your jokes, texts you all the time, and always wants to be around you. But then one day she suddenly pulls back. She doesn't reply as quickly. She starts testing you with little comments like, "You're always so nice. Maybe too nice. I don't know if I'm feeling the same way anymore. Why don't you ever challenge me?" And just like that, your mind goes into overdrive. What did I do wrong? Is she losing interest? How do I fix this? Most men panic at this moment. They start over-explaining, trying too hard to impress her again, or even begging for reassurance. But the truth is, this was never about something you did wrong. It was about whether you could handle the storm without breaking. The Stoic approach: strength over reaction. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." A Stoic man understands that a woman's tests are not personal attacks. They are instinctual. She's looking for confirmation that you are who you claim to be, a man of strength, calmness, and control. So what should you do when she pulls away or tests you? 1. Remain calm. Do not panic or overthink. If she's acting distant, give her space without acting needy. 2. Stay true to your values. If she questions your beliefs or decisions, do not bend just to please her. Women respect a man who stands firm. 3. Keep living your life. Do not drop your purpose or routine because she's pulling away. Let her see that your world doesn't revolve around her approval. When you respond this way, something powerful happens. She starts feeling safe again. She realizes that no matter what storm she brings, you remain steady. That's when respect, attraction, and deep emotional connection grow stronger than ever. 2. Women are attracted to mystery, not oversharing. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where, in the beginning, the attraction was strong, but over time, she started losing interest? You thought things were going well. You opened up, shared everything about yourself, told her your deepest fears, your past heartbreaks, even your every thought throughout the day. Yet instead of bringing her closer, she started pulling away, and you were left wondering what went wrong. If this sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. This is one of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships. See, we've been taught that being open and vulnerable is the key to deep, emotional connection. And while that's true to an extent, there's a fine line between sharing and oversharing. The truth is, women are drawn to mystery, not secrecy, but mystery, the sense that there's more to you than what meets the eye. A familiar love story. Imagine this: you meet a woman. She's beautiful, smart, and everything you've ever wanted. You hit it off instantly. The first few dates are electric. There's laughter, deep eye contact, and a feeling that something special is happening. She seems intrigued by you. She asks about your life, your dreams, your past. You're excited, so you tell her everything. How your last relationship broke your heart. How you're scared of being hurt again. How you check your phone every 5 minutes hoping for her message. At first she listens, but slowly something changes. She starts texting less. The excitement fades. One day she says, "I don't know. I just don't feel the same spark anymore." And just like that, she's gone. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. When you reveal everything too soon, you take away the very thing that drew her in, the sense of discovery. Women don't fall in love with information. They fall in love with the journey of uncovering who you are. The Stoic wisdom, speak less, show more. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." B1. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation through words. He lets his actions do the talking. Instead of explaining himself endlessly, he allows a woman to experience who he is over time. So how do you create this sense of mystery? 1. Stop oversharing too soon. If she asks about your past, don't spill everything at once. Give her pieces, let her ask more. Curiosity builds attraction. 2. Let her wonder about you. You don't need to update her on every thought, every moment of your day. Keep some things to yourself. First, be present, not predictable. Surprise her. One day, take her to a jazz club. Another day, be completely immersed in your passion, whether it's business, art, or fitness. Let her see you're a man of depth. When you carry an air of quiet confidence, women are drawn in. They want to know more about you. They want to earn your trust, and that's when attraction deepens. 3. Women respect men who can walk away. Let me ask you a personal question. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were giving everything, but she still wasn't satisfied? Like no matter how much you tried to make her happy, she kept pulling away, becoming distant, or even taking you for granted. Maybe you thought, if I just love her more, if I just show her how much I care, she'll realize my worth and treat me better. But instead, the more you gave, the less she valued you. If this has ever happened to you, then I need you to understand this. Women respect men who can walk away. Not out of anger, not as a manipulation tactic, but as a reflection of self-worth. Because the moment a woman senses that you need her more than she needs you, the power dynamic shifts and not in your favor. A story that might sound familiar. Imagine this, you meet an incredible woman. She's everything you've ever wanted, beautiful, intelligent, fun to be around. At first, she's all over you. She texts first, she wants to see you. She makes you feel like the most important man in the world. Then something changes. She starts replying late. She cancels plans. She's suddenly busy. You feel it happening, but instead of pulling back, you push harder. You text more. You try to prove your love. You ask if something's wrong. You tell her how much she means to you. And do you know what happens next? She loses even more interest. Eventually, she tells you, "I don't think this is working." You're left broken, wondering what you did wrong. But here's the truth, you didn't lose her because you didn't try hard enough. You lost her because you tried too hard. The Stoic perspective, self-respect first. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." A Stoic man understands that love should never come at the cost of self-respect. If a woman starts disrespecting you, taking you for granted, or making you feel like you're chasing her, you have two choices. 1. Keep chasing and lose her respect. 2. Walk away and let her feel your absence. When you walk away from a woman who is mistreating you, something powerful happens. She realizes that you are a man who values himself. And that is rare. This doesn't mean you play games. It doesn't mean you ignore her to make her miss you. It means that if she stops treating you well, you are strong enough to leave because you know your worth. How to apply this in your love life? Never beg for love. If she's pulling away, give her space. Don't chase. Set boundaries. If she disrespects you, call it out once. If it continues, leave. Know your worth. You are a high-value man. Act like it. 4. Women feel safe with a man who has mastered his emotions. Have you ever been in a situation where a small argument with your girlfriend turned into something much bigger than it needed to be? Maybe she said something that triggered you, and before you knew it, you were raising your voice, getting defensive, or feeling overwhelmed with frustration. And after the argument, you sat there wondering, why did I react like that? Or worse, you felt embarrassed, knowing deep down that losing your composure only made things worse. If this has happened to you, I want you to know something. Women feel safest with a man who has mastered his emotions. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being in control. Because if a woman feels like she has to tiptoe around your mood swings, if she senses that you're easily triggered, she will never truly feel safe with you. A love story that might sound familiar. Picture this. You're dating an amazing woman. She's kind, funny, and beautiful. You enjoy spending time with her, but one day, she does something that upsets you. Maybe she's late for a date, maybe she brings up an ex, or maybe she just seems distant. You try to stay calm, but inside you feel a storm brewing. Instead of letting it go, you snap. You demand an explanation. You raise your voice. You tell her how much it bothers you. She listens, but something changes in her eyes. She's not arguing back. She's not engaging like she used to. Instead, she looks disappointed. Not because she doesn't care, but because she's realizing something. If he can't handle this small situation, how will he handle bigger challenges in life? And from that moment on, she starts pulling away. Sound familiar? The Stoic approach, be the calm in the storm. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." A woman wants to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. She wants to know that no matter what life throws at you, you will remain steady. Because if you can't control your emotions, how can she trust you to handle the chaos of life? So how do you master this? 1. Pause before reacting. When something upsets you, take a breath. Do not react immediately. 2. Speak calmly. Even when you're angry, a man who can express his feelings without losing control earns deep respect. First, understand that testing is natural. Sometimes, she might push your buttons just to see how you respond. If you react with anger, you fail the test. If you remain composed, she respects you even more. When you master your emotions, everything changes. Women feel drawn to you because they know that with you, there is stability. And in a world full of chaos, stability is rare. 5. Women want a leader, not a follower. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where you always let her decide everything? From where to eat to what to do on weekends. You always said, "Whatever you want, I'm fine with it." At first, she seemed to appreciate it. But over time, something changed. She became less excited to see you. She started acting distant. She lost respect for you, and eventually the spark faded. And you sat there thinking, "But I did everything to make her happy. So why did she leave?" The hard truth is, women don't want a man who follows their lead. They want a man who takes charge, who has direction, who confidently leads both himself and the relationship. A love story that might sound familiar. Imagine this, you meet a woman and things start off great. She's affectionate, she laughs at your jokes. She's always eager to spend time with you. But as the relationship goes on, she starts asking things like, "Where do you want to eat? What should we do this weekend? Where do you see this relationship going?" And every time your answer is the same. "I don't know, whatever you want." At first, she doesn't say much about it. But over time, you start noticing a shift. She's less affectionate. She takes longer to reply to your texts. She doesn't seem as excited about spending time with you. Then one day she says, "I just don't feel the same way anymore." You're confused. You think, "I gave her everything she wanted. I never argued. I always let her choose. Why is she leaving?" Here's the truth. She didn't leave because you were too nice. She left because you didn't lead. The Stoic perspective. Be the man with a plan. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." A Stoic man doesn't wait for life to happen to him. He decides what he wants and takes action. This applies to relationships too. Women don't want to feel like they are dragging a man through life. They want to feel like they are stepping into a life that is already in motion. So how do you lead in a way that naturally attracts women? 1. Make decisions with confidence. The next time she asks, "Where should we eat?" don't say, "I don't know." Instead say, "Let's go to this great sushi place I found." 2. Have a vision for your life. Women are drawn to men who have goals, who know where they're going. If she asks where the relationship is going, don't say, "I don't know." Show her that you have direction. 3. Stand firm in your beliefs. A leader doesn't change his opinions just to please others. If she respects you, it's because you stand for something. When you become the man who leads, you'll notice something interesting. Women start to trust you more. They respect you. They look at you differently. 6. Women want to feel chosen. Not like they're your only option. Have you ever been in a relationship where you made her the center of your universe? You dropped everything for her, always made yourself available, and prioritized her above everything else, your friends, your hobbies, even your own ambitions. At first, she seemed to love the attention. She smiled when you texted her good morning. She was excited to see you. and everything felt perfect. But then something changed. She started pulling away. She didn't text as much. She canceled plans. She seemed less excited to be around you. And one day she said those words that shattered you. "I think we should take a break." You sat there broken and confused, thinking, "But I gave her everything. Why wasn't it enough?" Here's the truth that most men don't realize women don't. Want to feel like they are your only option. They want to feel chosen by a man who could have anyone, but picks them because they are special. A love story that might sound familiar. Picture this: you meet a woman, and from the moment you start dating, she becomes your entire world. You stop hanging out with your friends. You quit the gym because you'd rather spend time with her. And every text, every call, every conversation revolves around making sure she's happy. You think this will make her love you more. You think, if I show her that she's the most important thing in my life, she'll never leave. But what you don't see is that every time you cancel plans for her, every time you seem too available, every time you act like your world revolves around her, she loses respect for you. She starts wondering, why doesn't he have anything else going on? Why isn't he chasing his dreams? If he's willing to drop everything for me, maybe he's not as high value as I thought. And that's when the attraction starts to fade. The Stoic approach: be a man of purpose. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." A Stoic man understands that his life has purpose beyond any single person. He doesn't abandon his passions, his goals, or his mission just because he's in love. In fact, he knows that staying true to his path makes him even more attractive. So how do you apply this in your love life? 1. Never abandon your mission. Keep going to the gym, working on your business, and pursuing your passions. She should add to your life, not become your whole life. 2. Have a social life beyond her. Hang out with your friends, meet new people, and enjoy life outside of the relationship. 3. Make her feel special, but not like your only source of happiness. She should feel chosen because she adds value to your life, not because you need her to be happy. When you live this way, something amazing happens. She starts chasing you. She starts feeling lucky to be part of your world, instead of feeling like she is your world. 7. Women are drawn to men who are unaffected by their mood swings. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where everything was going great one moment, and then suddenly, she seemed irritated, distant, or upset for no clear reason? Maybe she was laughing with you in the morning, but by evening, she was giving you the silent treatment. Maybe she seemed affectionate one day and cold the next, and you found yourself thinking, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? So you tried everything. You asked her what was wrong. You reassured her. You tried to make her laugh. But no matter what you did, it felt like walking on eggshells. The more you tried to fix her emotions, the more frustrated she seemed. And in the end, instead of bringing her closer, she only pulled away more. If you've ever been in this situation, listen carefully. Women are naturally emotional creatures. Their moods will shift, sometimes for no logical reason. And the more you react to those mood swings, the less attraction she will feel for you. Because deep down, what she really wants is a man who remains calm, steady, and unaffected no matter how stormy her emotions get. A love story that might sound familiar. Imagine this. You're dating a woman and everything seems perfect. She adores you. She texts you first. She's always excited to see you. But one day something changes. She's quieter. She seems irritated. Even though you didn't do anything wrong, you ask, "Is everything okay?" She sighs and says, "I'm fine." But you can tell she's not, so you push further. "Are you mad at me? Did I do something?" Now she's even more annoyed. She rolls her eyes and says, "Just leave it." At this point, you feel frustrated. You were just trying to help. So now you get defensive. Why are you acting like this? Just tell me what's wrong. And just like that, the energy shifts. The mood turns into a fight. She's upset, you're upset, and what started as a minor mood swing has now turned into something much bigger. Sound familiar? The Stoic approach: be her rock, not her mirror. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." A woman wants to feel safe with you, and safety doesn't just mean physical protection. It means emotional stability. She wants to know that no matter how emotional she gets, you remain calm, grounded, and unshaken. So how do you master this? 1. Don't take her moods personally. Her emotions are not always about you. Sometimes she's just processing her own thoughts and feelings. 2. Stay calm and centered. If she's moody, Don't react. Give her space. When she sees that you remain strong no matter what, she'll naturally return to you. 3. Be playful instead of defensive. If she seems irritated, instead of getting upset, tease her lightly. Turn the tension into laughter. Women don't want a man who crumbles under pressure. They want a man who can handle the ups and downs of life without losing himself. 8. Women are attracted to mystery, not predictability. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that in the beginning of a relationship, everything is exciting? She's eager to text you, she wants to know everything about you, and she's deeply curious about who you are. But as time goes on, that excitement starts to fade. She stops asking as many questions. She seems less interested. The energy shifts and you start wondering, what changed? Maybe you thought she just lost interest in me. But the truth is, the problem isn't that she lost interest. It's that she figured you out completely. And when a woman feels like there's nothing left to discover about you, the excitement disappears. Because women are drawn to mystery, they crave unpredictability. And when a man becomes too predictable, too routine, too available, he stops being intriguing. A love story that might sound familiar. Picture this. You meet a woman and from the start, there's undeniable chemistry. She's fascinated by you. She asks questions about your life, your past, your dreams. She's always excited to see you. But as the relationship progresses, you start to notice something. You've told her everything about yourself. There are no surprises left. She knows your schedule, your routine, what you're going to say before you even say it. And suddenly, she's not texting as much. She takes longer to respond. She doesn't seem as engaged in conversations anymore. So you try to fix it by becoming even more available. You text her first every day. You always let her know where you are and what you're doing. You make sure she never has to wonder about you. But instead of making her more attracted, it has the opposite effect. She starts pulling away even more. Why? Because she no longer feels that thrill of the unknown. The Stoic approach: be a man of depth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you have already." A Stoic man understands that he is not defined by any single relationship. He has layers. He has depth. He has things about him that even the woman in his life doesn't fully understand yet. And that's what keeps her interested. So how do you bring back that mystery and excitement? 1. Don't reveal everything about yourself. Too soon let her discover you over time. Keep some parts of your life private. Not because you're hiding things, but because curiosity is powerful. 2. Be unpredictable. Don't fall into the same routine every day. Surprise her. Take her somewhere new. Change things up. 3. Have a life outside of her. If she feels like she knows everything about your day-to-day life, you become boring. Pursue passions, have experiences, and bring new energy into the relationship. Women don't want a man they can fully figure out in a month. They want a man who keeps them guessing, who always has something new to offer, who continues to evolve and grow. 9. Women are attracted to a man who can walk away. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were doing everything to keep her? You adjusted your behavior, went out of your way to make her happy, and ignored the things that bothered you just to avoid conflict. At first it felt like you were making the relationship stronger, but instead she started acting differently. She became distant, less affectionate, and less excited to be around you. You felt the shift, and instead of pulling back, you tried even harder to make her happy. And then one day she said something that crushed you. "I think we should take a break." And you sat there wondering, what did I do wrong? I gave her everything. So why did she leave? Here's the truth: women don't want a man who clings to them out of fear. They want a man who values himself enough to walk away if he's not being treated right. A love story that might sound familiar. Imagine this. You meet a woman and the connection is instant. You go on amazing dates. She's affectionate, she texts you first, and everything feels perfect. But as time goes on, she starts testing you. Maybe she cancels plans last minute. Maybe she starts ignoring your texts. Maybe she says something disrespectful to see how you'll react. At that moment, you have 2 choices. 1. You ignore it, accept it, and keep trying to win her back. 2. You recognize your own value and pull away, showing her that you won't tolerate disrespect. Most men choose the first option. They get desperate, they chase, they try even harder. And that's when she completely loses attraction. Because deep down, women don't want a man who needs them. They want a man who chooses them, but only if they bring value to his life. The Stoic approach: value yourself first. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man should be upright, not kept upright."
A high-value man doesn't beg for love.
He doesn't chase someone who is pulling away. He doesn't stay in a situation where he's being disrespected. So how do you embody this mindset? 1. Set boundaries and enforce them. If she's being disrespectful, don't tolerate it. A woman respects a man who stands up for himself. 2. Be willing to walk away. If she loses attraction, if she disrespects you, if she stops putting in effort, walk away. Not as a game, but because you genuinely value yourself. 3. Never make a woman the center of your universe. Your life, your goals, and your purpose should always come first. A woman should add to your life, not be your life. When a woman knows you have the strength to walk away, she respects you more. She feels safe knowing that she's with a man who has self-respect. 10. Women fall for men who make them feel emotion, not just love. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where you did everything right? You were always kind, always available, always made her feel secure. You showered her with compliments, responded to her texts instantly, and never gave her a reason to doubt your love. But despite all of that, one day, she sat you down and said, "I just don't feel the same way anymore." And you were left sitting there, broken, confused, thinking, "But I was perfect. I gave her everything she wanted. How could she just lose feelings?" Here's the truth. Women don't just fall in love with kindness, loyalty, or effort. They fall in love with the way a man makes them feel. And the most powerful emotion a woman can feel is excitement. A love story that might sound familiar. Imagine this: you meet a woman and right from the start, you want to be the perfect boyfriend. You take her on nice dates. You text her good morning and good night every day. You always say yes to whatever she wants. You never argue, never challenge her, never push back on anything. For a while, she seems happy. She tells you how sweet you are. But then something changes. She stops texting first. She seems less excited to see you. She starts pulling away and you feel like you're losing her. So you try even harder. You send longer texts, you buy her gifts, you remind her how much you love her. But nothing works. The more you try to be perfect, the more distant she becomes. Until one day she says those words that crush you. "You're a great guy, but I just don't feel that spark anymore." And just like that, she's gone. The Stoic approach: create emotional highs and lows. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them." What does that mean? It means that life is supposed to be an adventure, passion, excitement, unexpected moments. And relationships should be the same way. Women don't want to feel comfortable all the time. They want a relationship that makes them feel alive. So how do you bring that excitement back? Shunt a challenge her instead of always agreeing. If she says something you disagree with, push back playfully. Keep things interesting. 2. Add unpredictability. Don't always text first. Don't always say yes to plans. Keep her guessing. 3. Create new experiences together. Routine kills excitement. Try new things together, travel somewhere. Take on a challenge, surprise her. Women don't fall for men who just love them. They fall for men who make them feel something real. Now that you know these 10 hidden female weaknesses, you have a choice. Continue struggling in relationships or apply these insights and transform the way you interact with women. Remember, Stoicism is not about changing others, it's about mastering yourself. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.